Hey guys, it is the AFL Yank back here again, and I'm here to do another video for my round 9 tips for basically my tips for round 9 of the AFL of the 2021 AFL season. We're going to do a quick overview of round 8. So yeah, I tipped the Tigers to win, tipped them to win by 4 goals. They ended up losing 126 to 63. And I actually did really well in this round. I did pretty well for myself, honestly. But yeah, the Cats, they ended up beating the Tigers. Although I really thought Dustin Martin would just come back energized from his trip from New Zealand after visiting his family. But yeah, Cats got the job done. Probably took out some anger from the Swans game. But yeah. Then I tipped the Saints to beat Gold Coast. Got that correct. Won by 9 points. Then I tipped the Giants to beat Essendon, and they actually did that. They did a very good job in that game as well. Then predicted the Pies to beat the Roos, obviously. And they actually got the job done pretty well. Won by 3 goals. But yeah, still disappointing first side to only win by like 3 goals probably. But hey, they could have just been lazy, probably. Then of course the D's, they remain undefeated as they have one of the best starts, probably one of the best starts in like the past 10 years at least. But yeah, the D's off to an 8-0 start to the season. They have just been absolutely dominant. They're definitely looking like they're going to be a premiership contender this season. Probably the best season it's probably the best season they've had since probably 2000. Well, at least the best season starts since the dynasty of since the D's dynasty of the 1950s. But yeah, I was really hopeful the Swans would finally give the D's their first loss of the season, but yeah, it didn't happen. But unfortunately, that did not happen. We gave it all. We did pretty good, honestly, though. I will admit it. I was impressed by the effort, especially from Rampy and Mills. Our defense was just really strong. I'll definitely say that our defense was just really strong, but just the pressure from the D's was just too much, and our forward line was just getting abused all game by the D's backline defense, especially Buddy. But hey, first game back, you're not gonna be like fully 100%, and I'm honestly all right with that. But yeah. Still impressed with the Swans' performance, though, but it's just unfortunate we couldn't get the win. But yeah, I am hopeful that we'll come out stronger from the D's game, and yeah. Especially with the easy schedule we have, like the next 5 rounds before the bye. We got some relatively easy games coming up. But yeah, now continuing on from my overview of the Swans versus D's game, since I obviously did not do a reaction to it because I'm still really busy with school and stuff. But yeah. Then the Power beat the Crows in the showdown, predicted that to happen, and hey, Power got the job done really well. They're doing their thing. Crows starting to look kind of sus from the strong start they had this season. Crows had like a Gold Coast like start to this season, honestly. And yeah, they're starting to fall apart, but definitely I'll admit the Crows do have a bright future. That is some good signs, though. With how strong the Crows started, I will definitely say that they have a bright future ahead of them. For sure. Definitely have a bright future. Then Eagles versus Hawks. Yesterday's game. Got the job done very well. Huge 38-point win for the Eagles. And they did it on the road, which is pretty solid, but they need to do it against, tougher contenders. Then tipped the Dogs to beat Carlton. And even how strong the Blues did, especially of how Eddie Betts did for his age, yeah, Dogs are still the better side. And then the Lions versus Freo tipped Brisbane to win, and they got the job done as well. And I ended the round 4, tipped 4 games correct to end the round. 4-game winning streak. Not bad. But yeah, 7-2, did pretty well this round. D's still undefeated. Probably their best start since the 50s. Their dynasty era of the 50s. I mean, I gotta give them credit. Definitely a really strong side to be reckoned with, but yeah. Then round 9. We got now time for round 9. Friday's games. It is the Saints versus Cats. St. Kilda coming off a huge win over Gold Coast, although they probably should have won by more points. Still a decent win for them. And then the Cats, they're coming off a big win. They're coming off a huge win. Coming off a massive win over the Tigers. And to be honest, I think the Cats will once again... I think they're going to dominate once again, and I just... sorry, my computer's been acting a little jittery. But yeah, I got the... yeah. So for this game, I got the Cats winning. I got them winning by 44 points. I just think they're just too much of a strong side right now. And I just think the Saints are going to fall apart, unfortunately. But yeah, I got Geelong getting the job done. Fair and square. They've been a really strong side as of late. And yeah. Then it is my Swannies versus Collingwood. We're set to potentially be back at the SCG, although it depends on how bad the COVID situation is in New South Wales. Hopefully it's going well. Like any of my, viewers, obviously from... I have a good chunk of viewers, obviously, from Sydney and stuff. Also a couple of, like Swans fans from Victoria as well, because obviously, South Melbourne, obviously, and it was actually a good showing from the South from the Victorian Swans fans at the D's game. Especially that one dude who probably was, well, I don't know if he was probably drunk or anything, but hey, respect to that dude, especially with his that giant red like finger hand, that giant red hand he had, like hey, if someone wants to send me one of those, like, hell, I'll take it. But yeah, Pies coming off a big win over the Roos, currently sitting at 2-6 right now. The only other win they got was, of course, against Carlton, but yeah. But even with the Swans having that tough loss against the D's, I think we're definitely going to dominate against the Pies, honestly. But yeah, I got the Swans winning against Collingwood by a fairly good margin. I think I have them winning at least by probably 43 points. I just think the Pies have just been a really bad side overall this year. And I think we might get our first big win since round 3, because all the games we relatively played, like the past couple of rounds, obviously have been really close, or they've all been, with the exception of the Suns game, which was a huge win for Gold Coast. But yeah, we were basically just injury riddled, just completely throbbed by injury in that game. But with, more key players coming back, I think we should definitely get the job done against Collingwood, especially with how poor they've been as of late. Like, relatively. I just think we're just going to be too good for them. But yeah. I got my Swans winning big against Collingwood. I think Buddy Franklin will definitely be back in form next round after he had a sluggish performance against the D's. But yeah, relatively confident about the Swans the next 5 rounds. Got a relatively easy schedule. I mean, Freo and Carlton might give us a challenge, but I think it's going to be but yeah, it's definitely a really easy schedule the next couple games. I think we should fairly get the job. We should definitely get the job done. I mean, we might lose to teams like Frio and Carlton, but I think, I'm still feeling really confident. I mean, there's a possibility we could win all the next 5 games the next couple of rounds. Like, it would be definitely interesting. As long as we keep our form. Like, as long as we, keep the strong form, like, sort of regain the form that we had the first 3 rounds, I think we should definitely cruise throughout these next 5 rounds. We'll have a nice and relatively easy cruise. Much like, how the Dockers had in 2012 and hell, even what we had in 2010. Because there were a few floggings we had and also a couple of, big losses we had in 2010 that have been pretty similar to this year so far, but we'll see how it goes. But definitely confident about us beating the Pies, especially with how they've been this season. Next, and now to end my long 5 minutes of talking about Sydney, obviously. Next, we got Hawthorn versus North Melbourne. Back-to-back rounds where we see the bottom 2 sides facing each other. I gotta go with the Hawks winning. I think they'll get another nice win this round. I think they'll get a decent win. I do see them winning. It'll be a close game, admittedly, but I just think the Hawks are just going to be too good for the Roos. The Hawks honestly remind me a lot of the Swans last season, honestly. Like, they really do. Really give me a lot of... the Hawks admittedly do give me a lot of vibes about the Swans last season. Really young team, saw a lot of veteran key players, part of their premierships, retire. And now they're definitely they're definitely rebuilding. And of course, obviously, they have a veteran coach, obviously, Alistair Clarkson, who played a huge key part in leading the Hawks to the dominance they had in the 2010s. Of course, obviously, John Longmire, he inherited the coaching, the head coaching position from Paul Roos, but he's done a fairly solid job, maintaining. But yeah. Anyways, sorry about going a little off topic there, but got the Hawks beating the Roos. They should it'll be a close game, admittedly, but I think the Hawks are just going to come out at the end as winners. But yeah. Next, we got the Gold Coast Suns versus the Brisbane Lions, the Queensland Derby. It's the 2 Queensland teams facing each other. Got the Lions winning this game. I just think they're going to be too strong for the Suns. Suns are also a really good young side, but Lions have definitely found their rhythm, and I just think they're going to be dominant. Next, the Tigers versus the Giants, a rematch of the 2019 Grand Final. And I think the Tigers are once again going to get... I think they'll definitely find their form again this week, especially against the Giants. Like, the Tigers have definitely been a very strong side overall this season, but I think this round they'll find their form again. Like, I'm relatively confident in it. But the Giants have definitely had a strong run, honestly, and not really respect them, but yeah, the Giants, they've had a really strong run as of late, but I just think the Tigers are just going to be too good for them. And honestly, yeah. Then it's the Adelaide Oval. It is the Power versus the Doggies. This is definitely going to be a really interesting game, but to be honest, I think the Power might get the job done. They've just been really strong at home this season. They've just been really, really strong at home. And I just think it's just going to be too much for the Doggies, and I'll give them their second loss this season. But yeah. Next, Freo versus Essendon. A lot of people tipping the Dons to win this game, actually. But yeah, the Dockers, they've been battling with injury woes as of late, I think. Well, they've been with a little bit, but Oof, this is gonna be a really tough. This is like a tough game to predict, honestly. But yeah, the Dockers, they had a pretty solid performance against the Lions. But to be, and of course, Essendon, they've had a few huge games this season. But in my opinion, I just think the Dockers are going to be, well, I'm a little, oh my god. But yeah, I'm going to go for, this one's a really tough one, honestly. It's like 50-50 for me because Freo and Essendon, they definitely had some strong games throughout the season. But I think at the end, I think the Dons will get the job done. I'll admittedly say it. Then, MCG, Sunday games. It's the D's versus the Blues. I'm also going to go with the D's to win this game. They've just been super strong as of late. Like, the Blues, they've had their moments, but I just think the D's are too strong for them, and I'm going to tip the Demons to win. And finally, off this stadium, West Coast Eagles versus Adelaide Crows. I'm obviously going to go with the Eagles. Just they have been too strong this season at home. Like, the Eagles at home, they have just been dominant. And the Crows, they were really good this season to start off. Tex Walker was almost looking like he was going to be the Coleman medalist this season. Maybe even a Brownlow medal finalist. But yeah, the Crows are kind of falling off. Kind of stepped down, from the strong start they had this season. But oh my god, I got a little hiccups. I apologize. But yeah, I just think the Eagles are going to be the better side. They've been absolutely dominant at home, and yeah, I just think the Eagles. I think the Eagles might actually get a big win here, honestly. But yeah, that's my tips for round 9. I will be doing a quick squiggle prediction, just to show how I predict the ladder to go out, and yeah. So here we go. Just a quick squiggle prediction. So yeah, like I said, how much did I have the Cats winning? So yeah, had the Cats winning by 44 points. I'm just going to do this randomly. Like, I'm not going to make any, specific scores. I'm just going to do this randomly. But yeah, Cats winning by 44 points. I got the Swans getting a big win here. I think they'll win by, I'll say 41 points. I think relatively confident in Sydney winning against Collingwood, dominating against Collingwood. I'm mostly heading into the game pretty confident, honestly. Then Hawks versus Roos. This will be a close game, but I think Hawthorn will get the job done at the end. I got them winning by 2 goals. Then it is Gold Coast versus the Brisbane Lions. I just think the Lions are going to be too good for Gold Coast, but I think they'll hang on at the end, but I just think the Lions are the better side right now. Richmond versus GWS. This is going to be an interesting game, but in my opinion, I just think the Tigers are too strong. I think they'll get the job done. Then Port versus the Western Bulldogs. Definitely is going to be a really interesting game, but I think it'll go down to the wire, and I think Port will win by 4 points. It'll be a really close game, though. Then Essendon versus Freo. Definitely going to be a really interesting game, but I think this will also go down the wire. I got the Dons winning by 3 points. It'll be a really close game, though. D's versus Blues. I got the D's dominating this game, honestly. I mean, the Blues might hang on, but I just think Melbourne are just too good right now. And then West Coast versus Adelaide. Sorry, Crows, but I just think you're going to get flogged. 48-point win for the Eagles. And ladder predictions: D's first, Dogs second, Power third, Cats fourth, Lions fifth, Eagles sixth, Swans seventh, and Tigers eighth. So kind of predicting we kind of fall off almost like 2010 for the Swannies. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Although we'll see how it goes. Then GWS 9th, Freo 10th, Saints 11th, Suns 12th, Dons 13th, Blues 14th, and then the bottom 4, Adelaide 15th, Hawks 16th, Collingwood 17th, and the Roos in 18th with an 0-9 record. I mean, the Hawks game might be winnable for them, but it just seems unlikely, honestly. Look at that. I got like 4, 6, and 3 teams projected next round. But that's going to be a tight race. Cats, Lions, Eagles, and Swans. That's going to be a really tight race there. Like, either one of them could be 4th. But yeah, top 3 spots relatively locked in right now between Port, Western Bulldogs, and the D's. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, anything could happen in this round. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I am the AFL Yank, making another quick predictions video. We'll make another quick tips video. And just wanted to do this for fun, just to be quick and also relatively early. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm the AFL Yank, aka Tyler Gansert. And obviously, I forgot to mention, go follow me on social media. Got my Instagram and Twitter. I've been relatively active as of recent. And yeah. So yeah, anyways, guys, I'm the AFL Yank, aka Tyler Gansert, signing out.